Hello everyone and welcome to Ginger Prime. My name is Brian if you're new around here, and for returning subscribers, you are magnificent, legendary, ultra beasts today. That's what you get for subscribing, by the way, the freaking title of legendary, excellent ultra beast. Congratulations, rep it with pride. Be sure to make sure you have it tagged above your head in the real world. Confuse the hell out of people, if you ask me. Now, you guys sent me this article. Apparently, we have Zeppla in the news over on the BBC, talking about the perfect storm striking World of Warcraft. So I figured we'd sit down, go through the article. I'd give you guys my thoughts. We're having these conversations live over on twitch.tv/worktogame if you want to come hang out and also kind of talk about what's going on in the news. It's been actually a lot of fun. I'll be doing this Monday through Friday, all the way to the 13th, with the exception my wife's birthday is coming up. I'm going to take off for her birthday, but we're also hooking up and having fun subathon. So we're giving out copies of the game and so much more in celebration of Work the Game's 5-year anniversary. So let's dive into this article, and as always, this link will be in the description if you guys want to go have fun and read this along for yourselves. So let's do it. There's trouble brewing in World of Warcraft. Like, honestly, it's like, no, no, Sherlock. Let's do it. Not from a rampaging dragon or a demon army attacking the land of Azeroth, but from some unhappy players. Some is a weird word. We'll just go with it. Happy players who have, after 17 years, have had enough. On YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, etc., there are stories about people leaving the game. Some cite long delays of new content in the game that charges a monthly fee, and others are annoyed at the lack of communication. Players have been flocking to competing games in larger numbers than ever before, led by a wave of famous streamers and content creators jumping ship. When the allegations of widespread sexual harassment and discrimination at Activision Blizzard came, as Scott Johnson, the popular host of the MMO podcast The Instance, put it, you have the perfect storm for a lot of players to hang up their Azeroth gear for good and stake it out for a new place to play. What is really important about this aspect is that we're also seeing players who are not just vacationing in another MMO. They're not just coming to visit and see if it works for them or etc. Like, they are actively like deleting their gear or their character, etc. Severing that bond to that sunken cost. Severing that it's saying, I am so done with this game that I'm going to just throw all this in the trash. We just reacted to Pyromancer's video today. And in it, like, the guy is in pain. There's a grieving process. People describe it as a messy divorce, or honestly, like a loss of a loved one. This is what's happening within this community, and it's so unfortunate. And I think that anybody who's on the outside needs to try to practice empathy when it comes to people who are going through this process. This is not a gloating process. This is not a time where, the BS concept of gamers, console warriors, keyboard warriors, all fighting it out, for whoever's best and for some fake clout out there on the internet. This is a time that, we need to be open and with open arms and welcoming people into the community. Drastic dip. Activision Blizzard has not released official player counts for World of Warcraft in years. No joke. That's just everybody. The numbers is such a weird thing. Who cares? Who cares? If the game's making money, what is the number anyway for you? Some justification for your time? I've always said Final Fantasy XIV is the best MMO out there, and I've said that for years. And it's great that people now agree with me. But who cares? Whether it's got the biggest subscriber base or not, it's my favorite game. Anyway, so nobody releases official numbers. It's always funny. It's a funny argument. It's a funny thing. But it does tell the investors how many monthly active users and all of its games have every quarter. Those figures show that the game's lost 2 million players in 3 months. New numbers on how many active players Head has across his portfolio of games are due out soon, and then the firm's going to announce its latest quarterly results. WoW is still making plenty of money. Revenue is up because of all the cash shops and ways that people get nickeled and dimed in the game. Right now, they're just exploiting that. They're just literally taking advantage of that relationship. And gamers are freaking torn. Namely because, when you think about it, they're torn because there are good people at Blizzard. They're good people. And they are going to suffer because of this. But I think it's the only real way that you can really kind of, you can kind of cure the disease, right? And then the hope is that it gets better. The hope is that it gets better, but it's a risk because this is Activision we're talking about. And Activision gets a lot of passes. I said this in my Pyromancer video, Activision gets a lot of passes because of how beloved its IP has been. So to get to this point where people are literally deleting their characters is insane. But the fact is that money's up. Money is up. And that should piss you off. That should make you mad. It should make you mad because there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. I have no right to tell you how to spend your money. I have absolutely no right. You should not listen to me tell you how to spend your money. It's your money. I think it comes down to two ideas real quick. Circle of influence versus the circle of interest, right? I have no influence over like other people in that regards and how they spend their money, nor should I. I don't want that responsibility. But it falls into the circle of interest where I have no power. And so it only ends up leading to frustration, that doom scrolling, that clicking, like, I want to help. But I can't. All I can do, I guess, is talk about video games and hopefully like in a good, positive way. But just note that it's like yelling into the void. It just gets me mad. I've been really mad this last week. That's why you haven't seen a lot of videos from me on the channel, because I've been so mad. I didn't have any value to add to the conversation. All right. It'll be interesting to see what these new numbers are. I'm betting it's good. I'm betting that it's, I don't know. Anyway, we'll just move on. It's impossible to see how the real Exodus stats Scott submits, but based on things that I've heard inside and outside the company, this might be the most dramatic dip that they've ever yet experienced. He doesn't believe the dissatisfaction is down to any one thing, but after so many years, players are used to every twist on the core gameplay. You're still iterating on the same basic systems, and I think players are hitting a point of been there, done that, and that might be more widespread in the years past, he said. And then there's the competition, offering similar yet new experiences. Final Fantasy XIV modeling itself after World of Warcraft is a huge value add. That's why I don't get the 14 versus WoW animosity. I never understood it. It always sounded disingenuous. Like, do you realize, like, 14's based off of World of Warcraft. 11 was based off of EverQuest. Art iterates. Art complements. And Jen saying, this is the sort of same situation pro wrestling is in. One very large company has a lot of very talented performers who they are using very poorly, and you want to support your guy, but you can't watch the show without using him very poorly. That sucks. All right. David with a membership over on YouTube. I'll mute notifications for the rest of the video. So you'll see them pop up, but either way. Thank you very much, David. He doesn't believe the dissection is down to one thing. So they're still iterating and yet similar experiences. So we're just going to repeat that for this video. Insane growth. Final Fantasy XIV is arguably WoW's most like-for-like competitor, and at launch in 2010, it was famously so bad that the developers destroyed the world to rebuild the game from square one. The rags to riches redemption story has since attracted millions of players, but all of a sudden, it's seeing its numbers surge due to that should be be a game for quite the time. The next expansion is also not due for several months. Zepla, yeah, Zepla. Final Fantasy XIV YouTube content creator and streamer said the last few weeks have been insane. We usually get a lot of new players when the expansion comes, but this surpasses even that. The game is so popular that it temporarily stopped selling new copies, and director Naoki Yoshida issued a heartfelt apology for the server's issues caused by the staggering and unexpected influx of new players. It's not the only MMO suffering from sudden success. New World, Amazon's first attempt in the field, hasn't even launched yet, but the beta test period saw overwhelming with server issues, and it hit nearly 200,000 players joining the game all at once. New World is phenomenal. And people who respond like, no, I don't like New World. I don't care. Like, I literally don't care. It's not going to be for everyone, but New World is phenomenal. And it's just starting. New World's question literally comes down to, is Amazon going to still support the game? Which we can't know. They can tell us they will. The only thing that will prove it is them building out trust with the community by delivering. I hope that they do. I really like what I've experienced with the beta. I'm very excited for the 31st. And as a longtime Final Fantasy XIV player who also plays multiple games, like, I think the key thing that maybe people would wonder, how do you plan on doing this, Brian? I played 14 and Destiny. Like, those are the two games that I actively played all the time. I haven't played Destiny in a long time, and I think New World is going to fit in that slot very nicely. Come 19th, I'm playing 14, baby. And then I think New World and Final Fantasy XIV could, as a pairing, be a really good offering for those who are seeking that, especially because New World does not have a subscription. So I'm not financially sitting here like just, putting money into 2 buckets and hoping that I have enough time, which I don't. There's never enough time. There's never enough time to do the things you want. So I'm very excited, and hopefully New World does well itself. All right. Zeppela has herself once was a WoW player, but left years ago for 14 during its poorly received Warlords of Draenor expansion. She thinks many players have been frustrated for years. This is agreed, 100%. Common complaints have included frustration with poor class balance, out-of-touch developers, and needlessly complex RNG-heavy game systems. Put simply, many players haven't felt listened to, and they're not felt their time has been respected, and they're tired. Well said. Popular streamers have fulfilled some of this interest. Well-known WoW players, Asmongold has credited with driving many players to both 14 and New World in recent weeks. So the WoW community has already heard good things about 14, and Zeppela said, and now in light of recent events, they may be searching for a new MMO in earnest. And then, amid all of this, came the sexual harassment scandal that hit the community very hard. It sucks. I was talking with Chris about this. Like, what would make you quit? What would make you quit WoW? And he's like, I can't think of it. He doesn't know. And then this happens, and it's like, that's it. Like, the sunken cost, like for Chris, WoW means so much. And if you guys watched him and I talk about it, like as the VOD, we never published it for reasons, because it gets real personal with Chris. WoW was there, Blizzard was there for him during some of the worst times of his life. Some of the worst times of his life. I'm not gonna tell his story here. He can always tell that if he chooses to. So for him to leave is like cutting off an arm. Like, this is that, like, you have to question your experience of the past. You got to question all the times in the past. Like, was this always going on? And it seems like it was going on, but it seems like it's just continued to get worse and worse. And the thing is that I think 14's always has been the better game for a long time. And there's people have their walls, people have the sunken cost, theory. People have their community, right? What's happening is that it's not just one person going over and saying, hey, the water's fine. Like, you have whole communities migrating, and they have some interesting choices. You have 14, which is proven energy. Proven. And I use the concept of potential energy and proven energy. New World is potential energy. Final Fantasy 14 is proven energy. And so you have to either say, like, where do you want to go? And honestly, there's no wrong choice. Whatever you find fun and do and enjoy, like, that's the right call. 100%. Hands down, every time, if you're having fun in the game and you're not ruining somebody else's fun, you're doing it right. You're doing it right. Virtual picket lines. Scott Johnson has been making WoW content online since 2004, and he says that I'm dyslexic. Welcome to the channel, guys. I panel at Blizzard's annual Fan Fest in 2018 with one of the people named in the allegations. Something he now sees as in a new light. As someone who plays an active role in the community, he says he personally knows some of the women who were victims. It's horrible. Speaking for me, I never felt this level of anger and disappointment in my professional career as I did in the wake of these allegations, he said. Morale among the community is the lowest it's ever been, full stop. Blizzard has had its stumbles over the years, but nothing like this. On Twitter, he posted one of his illustrations, a shattered Hearthstone, the tool WoW players use to return home, and it's been retweeted 1,000 times, titled, No Way Home. The BBC is not responsible for the content of external sites on Twitter. Julie needs me to call her. I'll call her right back after this. He's not alone for taking a break, at least from Azeroth. Prolific WoW YouTuber Mad Season this week declared that he was quitting the game. In a video he made before the California legal case was even made public, the influential UK streamer Preach is also among the list to announce that he's no longer covering WoW, describing the sexual harassment allegations as the straw that broke the camel's back. After so many years, the time has come to say goodbye to World of Warcraft. You can also find the video discussing it here. Now, I watched that video. I don't plan on doing reaction content like Chris does reaction content, so you guys can check out Gaming Kinda for more of that. It's only if you guys like really insist on it that I will do that. Some players are debating a boycott, drawing virtual picket lines and enter Blizzard games. Honestly, that is what you have to do, but you're going to fight. There's resistance in that regards. I don't mean this as an insulting as it's going to sound no matter what, is that there is a sense of kind of this addiction, like in a way. Some people are, addicted, and it's like that's why you see animosity. That's why you see people who are, wow, like in Pyromancer video, what he called wow simping. Like they're trying to, like they either haven't hit that point or they're in denial in that regard. So they have to, like, it's like they are just, it's like someone's attacking your house, right? Like that's the power of the MMO. That's the relationship we have with these kind of games and content. Zappla for a part thinks a boycott is justified, but I just don't believe that this is the only way. Absolutely not. Some content creators have chosen to stay in the community as they feel that they can use their platforms to amplify the voices of those who are speaking out against injustice. It's true, but at the same time, it's a risk to be able to jump games. Like it is. Like it sucks. Like I feel horrible for these people who've made it their career. Demanding accountability from within is another way to make a positive difference here. Yes. But I think the only, like, this is Activision. Like, the only thing I think they're listening to is the money. They need a total leadership change. Total leadership change. There are practical decisions too. Changing games as a creator is risky and no guarantee the audience will follow. 100%. 100%. Nor should they be required to. You are not required to watch any of my content that you don't want to watch. That is not the relationship we have here. I'm going to make the stuff I want to make. And if you want to watch it, awesome. If you don't, awesome. You don't have to. Nor should you. And anybody who tries to make you feel bad, like, that's something that I'd be like, that's not right. However, if you're excited and you want to help these people, watch their content. That's the best way. So from outside of a boycott, if you go and watch the WoW community's 14 content or New World content or other game content, that it has a way to help communicate to them that it's safe to make that change, because that change is scary. Because they do it full time. I don't do it full time. I don't want to do it full time. I want to just bring you guys cool stuff that I feel like making. That's my thing. And I don't think everybody should subscribe to Brian's theory, right? Like, hopefully I'm not saying that, or that's not what is being interpreted. So is this the end of Warcraft? I'd bet that the game's best years are well behind it, Scott says, but I doubt it will vanish. While some players will be taking massive breaks and leaving for good, there are others whose entire social circle is involved in the game, and leaving it would be like leaving a family. But he doesn't think that's the end for Azeroth. It will bleed, it'll be injured, and maybe forever scarred, but I think it will likely be, it will live on one way or the other. When WoW eventually does disappear and the servers are switched off, perhaps many years from now, the impact that it had on the industry will live on. Very true. Amid all these troubles, a video from 14 director GSGP has been widely shared. Without World of Warcraft, 14 would not exist, he said in the video. Translated by a fan, WoW is the game that we consistently looked up to. Saying that we won or lost in WoW is off-based, and it started with because they are the game that we aspired it to be. So glad that they referenced Zappla in here. What a treat. Zappla, guys, is awesome. Please go subscribe to her. I think she just crossed over 200,000 something here on YouTube. So yes, I love it. At the end of the day, we have the power, but it takes a lot of effort to energize that power. And that power right now is being energized. I unfortunately question if it has staying power, if it's angry enough that real change can be made. But that's not up to me. That's up to you. And I don't think that power gets energy from attacking other gamers. I think it gets its power from inviting other gamers to be strong, to be powerful, to say, hey, it's safe over here. You can come. If you want to make content, make content. Like, we're going to be over here for you. I think that's essentially what we'll end up. Like, if you end up seeing that, if less people, let's just pull up the directory. Hey, it's me. Oh, good, it's muted. Okay, let's go to browse. Well, New World doing good numbers, especially as it wraps up. What was that? Where's do I follow? Well, I doubt I follow it. I don't. 34,900 viewers in the category. Assuming that some are like watching like conversations about what do we do, like this is the category that you're used to, this is what you follow. Less content will be an impact. Content has a huge impact on the games. That's why it's interesting to see that WoW has attacked Asmon so many times. Right? What the hell's that about? But as long as people are watching and making content, they're gonna make money. And so I think we have to be inviting, and it shouldn't be negative or attacking. But it's going to be a personal decision that each and every one of you have to make, and I can't make it for you. Nor do I want that responsibility. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, clip, blah, 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 blah. This has been Brian from Ginger Prime. Thanks for hanging out with me live. I appreciate the support. Love you faces. We'll see you in our next video. Who knows what that will be. Depends on, I guess, what you guys send me. And back soon. Take care. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video, and if you're listening to this voice, you are a special person, and I really do appreciate it. If you feel like watching more, YouTube's got its recommendations for you on the screen. Otherwise, I hope to see you soon. Bye.